Awesome. All right, cool. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Corey Mayo. I am the founder and CEO of Team Living Healthy and Fit. I have been a coach. I will actually celebrate being a coach for 8 years this May. So that's really kind of crazy and really, really exciting at the same time. So I am very excited to have you here with us and to share with you how my personal journey has blossomed into a bigger purpose and into this mission of inspiring women to live their best lives, to live life with more health, with more happiness, with the support of a loving community, and just to push through maybe some barriers that you've experienced in life and live your very best. Okay. So if you're on live, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I'm going to try and keep this to about 30 minutes or less, so that way we can let you get back to the rest of your evening or go to bed if you're going to be like me and go straight to bed because that alarm clock goes off really early in the morning. Or if you are listening to the playback, we appreciate your time too, and feel free to ask your coach or whoever sent you this video any questions that you may have at the end. Okay. So first, a little bit about me. I am a mommy of two little boys. I have been married to my husband, Paul, for, we celebrate 11 years this year. We have been together for 15 years this week, actually. We have two little boys. Keiston is going to be 10, and Beckett just turned 7. So we definitely have a very busy life. It has been quiet, like I'm sure most of you have been experiencing recently. But we've lived very busy lives. So after I had my first son is kind of when my journey started. I found myself in a very unhappy place. I had put on a lot of weight, and I didn't feel I was living up to my full potential. And I didn't feel like I was being the best mom for my sons that I could possibly be. So when I first started as a coach, I honestly had no intention of working the business. Okay. I signed up to be a coach strictly for accountability for myself and for the support and the love of the community. I had always kind of been a person who got wrapped up in the drama and kind of the gossip life. And I had good friends in my life, but maybe didn't always participate in actions that were of growth mindset or living your best life. We'll just kind of say it that way. So coaching kind of challenged me to step outside of my comfort zone and gave me this community of women that I had never experienced before, because there was no judgment. There was no clique. You didn't have to force yourself to fit in. You just did. You just there was just this sense of belonging, and the women would just love and support you no matter where you were. Okay. And maybe you feel like you're missing that in your life. I know that I was. So when I joined this challenge group online, and I was 60 pounds overweight, and I joined this challenge group, and I had just started a workout program that was super hard. I did P90X when I first started. If you have heard of that program, it is an old Tony Horton program, one of Beachbody's original workouts. It is intense. I started there, and even though I couldn't do all the things in the workouts, or I didn't maybe look like the other girls in the group, I never felt like I was less than. I always felt like I was accepted, and I had their love and support. And we would all show up as we were working through our workouts, and we would celebrate each other, and we would hold each other accountable, and we would cheer each other on. And for me, that was just something that I had never experienced. So it was a breath of fresh air. And as you can imagine, I was hooked. I just thrived in that community. I had always struggled with my weight. I was up and down on the roller coaster my entire life. I would do really good with a fad diet and lose a ton of weight, and then I would revert back to old habits. It was one of those things where it worked until it didn't work, right? It would be so restrictive or so extreme that it wasn't something that was sustainable long term. right? So when I was introduced to Beachbody, it was different because it gave me balance. I could still enjoy some of the things that I love. I love ice cream. I love brownies. I love pizza. Um, but not in the moderation. Yes, see, I'm having water because I have 2 more days left in my program, so I'm trying to be a good girl. Um, but I I just needed that sense of balance where it didn't have to be so on or off, right? So that I could feel like I could stick with it long term. And so with P90X, my husband and I completed the first 90 days. Felt amazing. I lost a good amount of weight. I think my first round, I lost like 32 pounds, somewhere around there. It was a long time ago, so I don't remember. And then we did another 90 days right after without fail. And let me just say, you guys, at this time, my first son was 18 months old. So I get that you're not sleeping great if you have young children at home. I was tired. I was not a morning person. You better believe I was not getting out of bed before the sun came up. And I was hitting snooze as many times as possible. Like I literally would stay in bed until 7:30 back then, because that was the last minute I had to get up, and I would use every second of that time. But when Keiston went to bed at 8:30 at night, PJ and I would go straight downstairs, and P90X are our workouts. Okay. So for an hour, we would work out, we would shower and go straight to bed. And that was our routine. It just became what we did every single day, because my husband was experiencing high blood pressure at the age of 27, and exercise-induced asthma. And I was 205 pounds. I had zero energy. I felt like crap about myself. I hated getting dressed. I was constantly tugging at my clothes, hiding behind Keiston in pictures. I didn't want to take pictures with him. Like, maybe you've experienced it. I did not feel comfortable or happy in my own skin anymore. So it was kind of that breaking point. Like, you have got to get it together, and you have got to be a better version for him. And really, for me, the light switch was, I was terrified that if something, like, obviously we can't control everything in our lives, and unfortunate things happen, but I couldn't bear the thought of not being here for him because of something that I had control over. So I got it together. We showed up. We kept doing our best. It wasn't perfect. No, nothing in life is perfect. There were struggles along the way. We were super sore, but we kept showing up every single day. And because I had this community of women that I knew was, one, counting on me to show up just as much as I was counting on them to show up for me, it was this balance of knowing that they were going to love and support me and push me forward, and that I was going to do the same for them. Okay. So coaching for me was strictly to get myself on the straight and narrow, to like stay committed to something longer than a couple months. And then as things started to kind of blossom, we actually, after we finished our second round of P90X, so we're 180 days, it was July, into the year of 2012, we got pregnant with our son, Beckett. That's how good we felt. We were like, okay, baby number 2, let's do this. And so we got pregnant with Beckett. He was born in March of 2013. And when I knew that this was legitimately a lifestyle change is when I hit my 6 weeks postpartum with Beckett, and T25 launched, and I dove right back in, and I have not stopped a day since. I have continued to keep pushing forward and show up, because it feels good when you get to a certain place. It didn't happen overnight, you guys. Like, I know that sometimes when you look at somebody's journey, or you look at their before and afters, or you followed them for a long time, it just seems so easy, and it just seems like they have it all figured out, and oh, it must be easy because her kids sleep at night or whatever. Both of my boys were up at 1:30 this morning talking to each other because they've been doing sleepovers, and I'm like, hello. And I still sleep with the monitor because the one sleepwalks. So not to totally get off on a tangent, but like, I still now have to get up with my children, and they're almost 10 and one is 7. And it's like, I'm on the monitor, like, why are you talking? Go to sleep. I'm trying to sleep. And then when my alarm went off at 5, I really did not want to get up. But because I have done it for so long, I've created discipline and I have created habit. And I know that when I get up and I push myself, I feel better. I feel accomplished, and that empowers me to keep taking another step forward every single day. Okay. So we've talked about that. For the first time, I felt like I belonged. Like I had this community of women that, God, I could see Dawn's face, and I was so excited to finally meet her in person and give her this huge hug. It was going to be my birthday weekend for Summit this year, and unfortunately, because of COVID and everything that's going on right now, that is not happening. It's just paused because it is still going to happen. It's just on pause for right now. But it's just having these friendships and these relationships that you just never do could really exist on this level. And that might sound cliche or corny if you haven't experienced it yet, but I promise you, it's just like this. It's just such a good feeling and good energy and vibrancy that you get when you're in this community with everyone. So as I started to feel better and as I started to get more results after having Beckett, I really dove into coaching. So I didn't really dive into my coaching journey as far as the business side of things for about 18 months into my business. But because I was feeling so good, I naturally was talking about it to everyone. And naturally, people are asking me, what have you done? Like, you look amazing. You've dropped over 60 pounds, because at this point I had dropped over 60 pounds. And I had kept it off for a considerable amount of time, minus the pregnancy. And it had just kept going. And I wanted other moms, other women too, but especially moms who were feeling like I was, sitting on the couch that day, just feeling sorry for herself, not comfortable in who she was, feeling like there was something missing and like she could do better for herself and for her family. At the time, I didn't care if I did it for myself. I was doing it for him. I was doing it for my son. I needed to find something that was going to fulfill me. And this is what has filled that gap. And I wanted other moms to feel that. I wanted them to experience that there is something else out there for you, and it's okay. It's okay to want more for yourself. What we do as moms and as women sets the tone for our children. And it is so easy for us to put ourselves on the back burner and to say, I have to take care of everyone else first. And we forget about taking care of us, or we're too tired to take care of us at the end of the day. You guys, you can't water your plants from an empty pitcher, right? You can't pour into your family. You can't pour into your children. You can't give them your best when you're on E. We have to. It is vital. It is not selfish. It is vital that we take care of us first. Rachel Hollis explains it as like a vase. If the vase is tipped over and a water flow is going into it and the vase is tipped over, what's going to happen? It's just going to keep pouring out, right? It's never going to fill all the way up. But when you stand tall, when that vase stands tall and it's firm on the base of the vase, that rhymes, and you're filling it up with water, eventually it fills to the top and then it overflows all over, right? And makes a mess, is what we're all thinking as moms. But it does, it overflows, and it overflows into all areas of your life because you are filling yourself up. You are becoming the best version of you. You are filled with joy and with happiness and energy and confidence, and that exudes into everything else around you. So don't think it's selfish to make time for you or to take time for you. Do not let that mom guilt rob you of living a better life, of living the things that you desire, okay? Because that is what we need to do to fully live to our potential. So that has grown into a mission. It's grown into a mission to linking arms with other amazing women, and some of the coaches are on the call right now, and maybe one of them invited you, and that's amazing. It's because they know exactly what I'm talking about, and they want you to experience this community and that feeling too. And so it's become this mission of not just me trying to inspire other women and uplift them. It's become a mission of this amazing team lifting others up, linking arms, and working to inspire everyone around us. Okay. And it makes my heart incredibly happy. You guys, I will talk in a minute about what our family has been able to benefit from this financially, because obviously we are talking about a business opportunity here, and that is a part of running a business. But for me, it's not about the money. It's so much more about the fact that I'm living the life that I am right now, and I have come so far from who I was back then. And I've been blessed to work with so many amazing women to create this community and help them see belief in themselves and build belief in those around them as well. And that, for me, like, I'm tearing up because that fills my heart so much more than the money. It's serving a bigger purpose. I feel like this is what I was born to do. This lights my heart up. And I hope that something I talk about, I hope I don't get on too much of a tangent, but I hope that something speaks to you or that you can relate to it, because it truly is something that has totally transformed who I am as a person for the better. And not that I wasn't a good person then, but I've grown into an even better person now. So our bigger purpose has blessed many lives as well as ours, and we have more health and happiness. My husband and I have shed over 120 pounds together, and we have kept it off for those 8 years. I fluctuate 5 pounds inevitably, but that comes with the territory, and whether I'm drinking a glass of wine or I'm drinking water, just depends, But my boys are growing up in a home with parents who are active, who are present, who are energetic, who are teaching them to have a growth mindset. My one son hasn't been tested yet, but my oldest son is gifted. And I'm pretty sure my youngest is as well, because he has many of the same qualities. And a gifted child is, if you're not familiar, are typically children who excel exponentially in school. They are incredibly smart, but they think in a different level. And so my boys are perfectionists. They can be very critical of themselves. It kind of comes with the territory when things come very easily to you and you're incredibly smart. If you do face a challenge or a hurdle, you are very quick to cut yourself down. So me being where I am now has allowed me to coach and help my children move past and learn more about a growth mindset, rather than allowing them to stay stuck in that I can't do it, I'm not good enough, and cutting themselves down. Had I been where I was 8 years ago, I wouldn't have been equipped with the tools to help them move past those hurdles. So it has given us that. We have been able to do so many things. We've taken family vacations to Disney a couple times. We have earned all-inclusive trips. We've gone to Mexico as a family that was completely paid for by Beachbody. We went on a cruise last year it was actually on my son's 6th birthday. It was a pretty cool birthday party. I'm like, this is not for your birthday. But we had earned that for all 4 of us. Yeah, followed up by this year, he was in quarantine for his birthday. I'm like, well, that's 2 extremes, 2 years in a row. We live more comfortably. When we started this, I honestly couldn't afford Shakeology. And that was one of the reasons I signed up to be a coach, was to save and have the discount on Shakeology. So we live much more comfortably now when it comes to our monthly finances. We've been able to create substantial funds for our boys for college, and probably our most I wouldn't say most exciting, but probably our biggest accomplishment as far as finances so far in the business or to date is about 7 years ago, 6.5 years ago. We really needed to upgrade our home. We were still living at our first home. It was very small, and with 2 growing boys and 2 dogs and all of their things, it just was getting very, very tight in an 1,100 square foot home. So we had started house hunting and kind of looking and just seeing what was in the market. And we were very quickly shot down by the realization that our finances could not afford to purchase the type of home that we really needed for our family or that we wanted to upgrade our family to. So we got really focused and worked really hard. This doesn't just happen. Growing a business does not just fall into your lap and like, whoo, you have this amazing income and growth. We worked really, really hard. And a year and a half after we set a 5-year plan to get a bigger home, we were able to purchase the home that we live in now. And so we will celebrate being here for 5 years. In June. So it's crazy to think that we set a 5-year plan and it took us a year and a half to work towards that. But we would have just now, had I not put my nose down and worked hard, doing something that I love, that we would just now be working towards living in the home that we've already had for 5 years. And I was just thinking about that as I was kind of putting some notes down before we started this call. And that's a really amazing thing to think about, and really just fills my heart up to think that it could have just now been happening. So we're incredibly blessed in so many different ways because of this opportunity and because of the community that we have leaned into. So I totally get if it feels like, oh, it sounds wonderful for you. You must have it all figured out, or that you have these fears and hesitations. I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z, or she was able to do it because of X, Y, and Z. I get it because I was there too. That's why it took me 18 months to really lean in and start building my business. But through personal growth, I have learned, and this is a Denzel Washington quote, and it is one of my favorites. True desires in our heart of anything good are sent to us beforehand to prove to us that it is already ours. True desires of the heart of anything good are sent to us beforehand to prove to us that it is already ours. So if you desire something more, if you desire having more time for yourself, to feel more joy, to feel more confidence, to have more financial stability for your family, all of those things are sent to you for a reason, okay? It's not selfish to desire more and to want to push yourself beyond where you are right now. I truly believe that we are presented with answers when we need them. When we are ready for a new chapter, when we're ready for growth. I also believe that you are on this call with us, or you are listening to the playback for a reason. I believe that opportunities are presented to us, and as long as our hearts are open, we can receive them. And sometimes our hearts aren't open when those doors are there for us. But I hope that something you heard tonight resonates with you. I hope that something speaks to you and opens your heart just a little bit more. So don't let the fear pipe up. Believe me, I know that it can do that. I still struggle with fear and self-doubt at times. It is an ongoing process to work forward and to overcome that. But what do you have to lose by saying yes to an opportunity for yourself? By working towards your health and fitness goals, by maybe growing a little bit of an income for your family, by maybe building a substantial income for your family. But what could you stand to gain? What could you stand to gain if you were a part of this amazing community? If you leaned in and you joined our team and you got to feel that uplifting community every single day? Could you feel healthier, happier, more confident, more energy, more joy. What would that look like for you? How could life be different? I know for me, it is night and day from when we started to where we are now. So many people will ask, well, how do I get started? Well, this is how we would get you started. Either myself, if I am your coach, or the coach who invited you to this call or to listen to this video is going to ask you, what are your personal goals? Okay, what do you want to work towards? They're then also going to help you identify what are your struggles? What are some of the hurdles that you're going to face when working towards those goals? And together, you will create a plan that is going to help you work on reaching your goals and overcoming the personal struggles and hurdles that you have in front of you. Okay. As a coach, as a client, the journey, the number one priority is always you first. Always you. It's always you being your best, taking steps forward, and working towards that personal growth for you. Okay. Once your coach sets you up with the program that fits your personal goals, if you do enroll as a coach, then we will also discuss what are your business goals? What do you want to do with this opportunity? Do you want to be strictly an accountability coach like I was at first? Do you want to be a hobby coach? So a hobby coach would be somebody who helps a couple friends, maybe asks a couple of her close girlfriends to join her in a challenge group and to get healthy and fit with her. Or do you want to go all in and make this a career and serve a bigger purpose and make an impact on a larger scale? Whatever that looks like for you, this is no cookie cutter mold, okay? We don't say, okay, you're a coach, these are your quotas, this is what you have to do, this is your checklist, do it every single day, okay? That's not how this works. We talk with you. What are your personal goals? And then we as a team are going to help serve you and mentor you to reach those goals. So first, we are definitely going to dive into your nutrition, your fitness, and your mindset, your personal growth, because your journey is always first. And then with coaching, we are going to decide where you fit, what's going to work for you. And you guys, it changes. Okay. Sometimes we start off as accountability or hobby coaches, and then we go into career coaches. Sometimes we start out as a hobby coach and something big in life happens and we have to go to an accountability coach for a little bit. There is no wall that stops you from moving from one to the other. But what's important is that you verbalize with your coach what your goals are, and we will help you reach those goals. Okay. So I want to share with you really quick one more quote, and then I will let you beautiful ladies go for the night. So the quote is from Richard Branson, and it's, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure how to do it yet, say yes, and then figure out how to do it later. Okay. So that's all I have for tonight. I greatly appreciate all of you being on this call with us tonight. You guys are rock stars. You're amazing. Please, please, please stay safe. Stay home, be mindful once they do start opening things back up. We certainly want to make sure that everybody stays healthy and well, and hopefully we will be back to living some sort of a normal life here soon, okay? Thank you all for being here. I will talk with you guys later.